instability, emotional instability, sickness, mentally. He was mentally unstable and mentally ill. That's the only explanation that I could give, and he was obviously disturbed.
This morning, we continue our coverage of the Orlando nightclub shooting, which is now labeled the deadliest shooting in U.S. history. Our news team has been following the ongoing developments from Orlando since the beginning, bringing you updates on air and online. And this morning, we are learning even more information about those who died. We start with breaking news from overnight. The names and ages of 15 victims killed in that club are released by the city of Orlando. Family members of those identified have been notified, and a total of 50 people died. So far, their ages range from 20 to 50 years old. We are updating you throughout the morning online as well as on air. And as the city releases more victims and their information, you can go to our website, WIAT.com, for a current list. Well, we continue our coverage this morning with the latest from Washington, D.C. President Obama looked weary as he addressed the country yesterday after the shooting. CBS 42 Chief National Correspondent Jim Osman is in our Washington newsroom this morning.
A sobering and sad Monday morning in America, including the nation's capital.
We know enough to say that this was an act of terror and an act of hate. And as Americans, we are united in grief, in outrage, and in resolve to defend our people.
President Obama gave his remarks, ironically, in the Brady Press briefing room named after Reagan Press Secretary James Brady, who was shot and disabled during the Reagan assassination attempt. The woman who wants to succeed President Obama, Hillary Clinton, in a tweet stated, quote, "This is a time to stand together and resolve to do everything we can to defend our communities and country." Presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump tweeted, "Horrific incident in Florida, praying for all the victims and their families. When will this stop? When will we get tough, smart, and vigilant?" Unquote. Because of the massacre, President Obama canceled an expected campaign stop this week on behalf of Clinton. He views it inappropriate at this time.
We are still learning all the facts. This is an open investigation. We've reached no definitive judgment on the precise motivations of the killer. The FBI is appropriately investigating this as an act of terrorism.
This is the 15th mass shooting President Obama had to walk to the podium and address the nation. I'm Chief National Correspondent Jim Osman in Washington.
Throughout the morning, we will bring you live reports from Birmingham to our national newsroom as new details emerge by the moment. Stay with CBS 42 for continuing coverage on the Orlando terror attack. Right now in Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley is responding to the Orlando nightclub massacre by urging caution and prayer. The governor released a statement saying, quote, "Alabamians should be on alert, especially when attending large mass gatherings throughout the state. As always, if you see something, say something." He goes on to say that Alabamians are strong in love and in faith, and he asks the people of our state to pray for the Orlando families, for law enforcement, and also for our enemies. Happening today, Pride Birmingham will honor those killed with a special event tonight in Lynn Park. That starts at 6 o'clock. Yesterday, the shootings in Orlando weighed heavily on those who attended the Pride Festival here in Birmingham. The festival went on as planned, but with extra security. A special glow stick vigil honored the 50 people killed in Orlando, and those who were in Birmingham yesterday said it really hit too close to home.
And I had several friends that could have potentially been in the massacre, and they're all fine. The whole thing's unnecessary. We shouldn't have had to deal with something like this.
Now, a man in Homewood Central Park gave out free T-shirts to honor the victims of the Orlando terror attack.